If you're a fan of rope drop here at the Walt Disney World Resort, which basically means, getting there early, so you can be one of the first people in the park at the start of the day, then you know that it's a little bit different depending on what park you're at. Like the process itself is a little bit different. All the basics are pretty much the same. You tap into the park with whatever ticket media you're using, but then once you enter, you're divided up. Guests staying at Walt Disney World Resort hotels who have access to early theme park entry 30 minutes before day guests, they go one direction, and everyone else goes a different way. We talked a little bit about what you need to know at all 4 theme parks in the past, but recently EPCOT made an update to the process, so today we're here to check it out. So the way that this has worked in the past is once you arrive at EPCOT, you tap in. If you're a guest staying at a Walt Disney World Resort hotel or another participating resort, you make your way all the way to the far right. Over there, they're gonna check your credentials. So they're gonna tap your ticket media again, and then they'll let you into the park. Everyone else would stay in the main entrance where we're sitting now. But you'd be blocked off from going any further than basically Spaceship Earth, or more accurately, the area right behind me where you can rent wheelchairs, strollers, ECVs, and stuff like that. But recently, maybe in anticipation for removing the virtual queue and Cosmic Rewind being added to early park entry for resort guests, they changed the process up a little bit. So as you can kind of see behind me, rather than being blocked off right here, it looks like we can continue down this path now, which is what we're gonna do because we are here for early entry. We aren't staying at a Walt Disney World Resort hotel, though my favorite place to wait out rope drop is right here. But before we make our way over, let's take a look at where you need to go if you're staying at a Walt Disney World Resort hotel. So there are signs all over, just like this one, that shows you where you need to go if you're staying at a resort hotel. So in this case, now we're entering here rather than up that way. Before there used to be an entrance over there, but now it's right here, kind of at the base of Spaceship Earth. And then as you can see, they are checking credentials right on the other side of the bushes. But because we aren't here for early entry, we're headed this direction. And as we continue down this way, you can see that everyone's kind of corralled right here. There's a big crowd up that way. So it runs along guest relations and just about to that entrance, the back one for Connections Cafe, where you can kind of scoot in and go to Starbucks through that back entrance or make your way down to the eatery. So it looks like that's where they're stopping this line. Now I'll tell you what, this is actually a nice improvement because right over here is a bathroom. So if we keep following the crowd this direction and move past Gateway Gifts, you'll see that we do arrive at a restroom. Of course, we also now have access to Gateway Gifts as well, all before the park officially opens to day guests. Now, personally, I think that this is a fantastic change for one main reason. You have access to the bathrooms. Now, previously, if you had to use the restroom, you actually had to exit the park after tapping in and then head over here to this restroom, which is outside the ticketed area. And that's assuming that you entered through this side. If you happen to have entered through the other side, you might think that the only bathroom available to you, or the closest bathroom, is outside of security. And that honestly is a nightmare. It has been a nightmare for so many guests. I can't tell you how many I've stopped and said, no, you don't have to go through that line again, just go to the other side and you'll have access to restrooms over there. But still, it's too complicated. So having a bathroom that's available to you inside this ticketed area is fantastic, especially because it's available before the park officially opens to day guests. So you don't have to exit, you don't have to wait anymore. It's right there. I also love that we have access to Gateway Gifts because that means you can get any necessities that you might need. If it's raining or, it looks like it might rain later today, you can grab yourself a poncho or a hoodie from there if it's a little chilly. You don't have to wait until the park opens. So I think that that's fantastic too. Now the rope has dropped, I can tell, because of course this line has started to move. But one thing that I wanted to check out, and why I'm hanging back, is because you'll notice over here, guests have started to congregate, and in fact, The rope has just dropped over here as well. Now don't forget, if you're here for early entry, but you're not here super duper early and at the start of that line, you can always go this direction. You just have to wait for the park to officially open. So that's what we're gonna do today, and completely bypass that craziness. Now for those of you who are wondering, yes, you can absolutely get where you're going if you go this direction. There's still gonna be a little bit of a crowd because of course people are still making their way into the park. It's not gonna be a direct line to Cosmic Rewind, but if that's not a priority for you, I mean, it's not that big a deal. Just come this direction. And of course we have access to a lot of great stuff on this side of the park. If you're a power walker, you may also be able to beat some of that line as well. I mean, depending on the circumstance. Sometimes cast members, they're a little sluggish to open up this side to day guests, so keep that in mind. That's true at all of the parks. But you can definitely still get to Cosmic Rewind from this direction as well. Well, I think that's about all you need to know about the new rope drop process here at EPCOT. Of course, these things are subject to change, but from what we're hearing, this is the new process. This is the way it's going to be, at least for the foreseeable future. Now, is this much of a change? Not really, though there are some notable differences that I think will make your rope drop experience a little bit more pleasant. Again, gateway gifts and having access to that bathroom inside the ticketed area. But you know what? I'm glad that we took some time to talk about it so that you know what to expect. But hey, if you've ever rope dropped here at Walt Disney World, I want to hear about it. So tell me, what's your go-to way to do things? You know, how early do you leave? Do you like to pack a breakfast? I sure do. Also, if you don't rope drop because you're like, no way, I'm getting up early, I want to hear about that too. So pop it in the comments down below. But for now, I think I'm off. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Bye.